government to continue solving challenges facing teachers. UN commends Tanzania's economic strides.
Understanding is what has really fueled this growth has been investment in infrastructure, investment.
Good evening, I am Faida Ngaga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also, get all the latest news via our Instagram, Facebook and X pages at TBC Online. Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa says the government aims to continue solving challenges facing teachers, including long-time debt. Speaking at the meeting of Tanzania Heads of Secondary Schools Association, TAHOSA, in Dodoma, Majaliwa says President Samia Suluhu Hassan recognizes, values and respects the job done by teachers in the country in improving the education sector.
The government has made significant strides in addressing teachers' entitlements, particularly in ensuring timely promotions and eliminating the backlog of the unpaid salary increment arrears. Teachers now receive new salaries immediately after promotion without delays. This reflects the Sixth Faith government's commitment to resolving long-standing challenges and improving teachers' welfare.
Majaliwa, who represented President Samia Suluhu Hassan at the meeting, says during the period of 2021-2022 to 2023-2024, a total of 1.76 trillion shillings have been provided to strengthen school infrastructures by renovating and constructing new buildings.
Additionally, the government is actively implementing the free education policy by disbursing Tanzania shilling 33.3 billion monthly for primary and secondary schools to support operations and ease the finance burden on the parents. Efforts to improve school infrastructures, including building classrooms and teachers' housing, are ongoing, aiming to enhance the quality of education and accommodate more students.
On the other hand, Chairman of TAHOSA, Dennis John, has commended the government on its efforts to improve education sector. In other news, United Nations Resident Coordinator in Tanzania, Susan Namundo, commends the government of Tanzania for its economic strides for the past 63 years, which is in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Namundo made the remarks in Dar es Salaam during an exclusive interview with my colleague, Caroline Maleo.
How do you see the economic strides that Tanzania has made for the past 63 years that has helped the country to move to lower middle economy level? How do you see these strides, and what do you think that the country should do in order to move to an upper level?
No, thank you very much. Indeed, I have spent most of my career in Africa, and more recently, as you rightly mentioned, I was in Uganda, and prior to that, I was in Eritrea. But I think the economic progress of the United Republic of Tanzania is truly impressive. Attaining the middle-income country status, and my understanding is Tanzania did so 5 years before it had given itself the goal to reach it, is impressive. My understanding is what has really fueled this growth has been investment in infrastructure, investment in social development, but also investment in sort of economic reforms. That the macro frameworks are really solid. So it's all good. I think going forward, there needs to be greater investment in industry, greater investment in digital, greater investment in innovations more broadly, investments in agriculture, which is one of the main employers, really working on the value chains, improving productivity, etc. But also really critical at this stage, I think, is really investing in equity. we want that growth to be equitable. We want to make sure that no Tanzanians are left behind. We don't want a huge disparity in economic prosperity within the population. So I think these are sort of the next steps for Tanzania. And generally, from what I understand, this also is what the government has set itself in terms of an objective of moving down these various paths.
Is Tanzania moving at the right pace to end poverty by 2030? Because we're left with only 6 years. And if we're not moving at the right pace, or we are moving at the right pace, what's the role of the United Nations to help our country to achieve this?
Well, I think what I can say is Tanzania is moving in the right direction. Definitely in the right direction, because the poverty numbers are going down. I think it's now 26.2% or something like that. In terms of the pace, I think we need to do more. We need to quicken more. So it's good that the rate is going down, but the numbers, unfortunately, are going slightly up. And that's because population growth, the rate is quite high at 3%. And of course, we've had a number of shocks recently. COVID was really bad for everybody, and the other global shocks, such as the war in Europe, that raised inflation, the climate crisis. So there are a number of shocks that the economy has had to absorb that has reduced the rate and unfortunately dented a little bit our poverty eradication efforts. So we need to do more.
The World Bank has extended a grant support worth $4 million and a concessional loan amounting to $100 million, aiming to enhance the implementation of the project for advancing gender equality in Tanzania, well known as Pamoja project. Speaking after signing the agreement, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba, reiterated Tanzania's commitment to gender equality, asserting that the agenda is part of every national development goal and vision.
Utekelezaji wa mradi wa Pamoja ni ushahidi wa dhamira ya serikali.
The implementation of the Pamoja project is evidence of the government's commitment to achieving sustainable development goals, particularly the fifth goal, and demonstrating our strong intention to foster economic growth that includes everyone. The Pamoja project will help increase access to economic opportunities for women, as well as services to prevent and address gender-based violence in our country.
The Pamoja project, which has allocated $104 million, its development objective is to increase access to economic opportunities for women and gender-based violence prevention and response services in Tanzania. The project tackles both the social and economic challenges of gender inequality by empowering women economically and addressing harmful gender norms to prevent gender-based violence.
The Pamoja project is expected to benefit directly 319,850 women and indirectly 399,000 other women, including their household members. Minister of Industry and Trade, Dr. Selemani Jaffo, has welcomed investors from United Arab Emirates to invest in different sectors in order to attract many visitors, especially during the AFCON Games expected to be held in 2027. Speaking at the meeting between stakeholders of Tanzania Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture and the International Business Chamber of Dubai, Dr. Jaffo says an average Tanzania exports to Dubai is $2.1, while Dubai imports products worth $2.48.
The government has implemented various incentives and attractive foreign investors, including tax exemptions, reduced tariff, and access to special economic zones. The United Republic of Tanzania, through TIC, Tanzania Investment Center, and other relevant government agencies, assist investors at every stage, from project consideration to implementation.
Speaking after signing Memorandum of Understanding, President of TCCIA, Vincent Minja, says the agreement is an opportunity for Tanzania to reach the Dubai market, especially for agricultural products. While President of International Business Chamber of Dubai, Mohammed Ali Rashid Luta, says through the new agreement, they will cooperate in production, ICT, and renewable energy.
Dubai is a hub for international business, so we are hoping that the MOU which we signed today, it will help Tanzania traders to access international market through Dubai.
The partnership will help to showcase the Tanzanian products potential globally through Dubai, since Dubai is one of the world's largest re-export hubs. Tanzania witnessed a very healthy growth, and we are following closely the important investment attraction schemes that Tanzania has in place, with a lot of openness that is increasing, with a lot of policy reforms. And we believe that working closer with the Chamber of Commerce will help us to showcase the investment opportunities in both Dubai and Tanzania.
Statistics from the Tanzania Investment Center, TIC, show that registered projects from UAE have reached 147, providing employment to more than 23,741 Tanzanians. Let's have a look at other stories now. The Ugandan government has expressed its satisfaction with the speed of construction of the East African crude oil pipeline project that is ongoing in various important areas in Tanzania, including the construction of an oversea booster with the length of more than 2 kilometers in Tanga region. Speaking during a visit by Ugandan embassy officials in Tanzania at Chongoleani Coast in Tanga region, Ugandan ambassador to Tanzania, Fred Mwesige, says a lot of achievements have been witnessed since the project began to be implemented in Tanzania, including the construction of 4 large tanks with the capacity of storing 2 million barrels of crude oil.
Different stages of progress. There are so many activities here. I can't go through them. But at least the huge tanks, the 2 million oil tanks, they are 65% completed. The 3 tanks are almost complete. The 4th tank is somehow 25%. And I have seen the pig, which is ready to receive the oil. I've seen the pipes are being laid and the bridges are being constructed. So there is really tremendous progress.
I believe that at this pace and moving like this, we are going to have a project which is going to benefit both Ugandans and Tanzanians, which is not going to be detrimental to the environment, and which will be done in a way that is safe for both workers and for the communities around the sites.
The project manager in the area of Sige River, where the crude oil pipeline will pass under the river, Sinan Ellisland, says they are working to ensure that the pipeline passes under the river so that it doesn't affect lives of creatures living in the river, including fish.
On the lowest point, 15-16 meters deep under the river, and the formation under the river is, as per our geotechnical information, is pure sandstone, hard rock, and we don't expect any issues, and we will be a smooth operation to protect the environment. There are a lot of endemic species in this river, from crocodiles, endemic species like fishes, which is only known all worldwide, only in this river, purely for this river.
The shareholders of this project include Total Energies with 62%, Tanzania Petroleum Development Corporation, TPDC, and Uganda Petroleum Development Corporation, UPDC. They own 15% each, and the Chinese Oil Corporation owns 8%. Chama cha Demokrasia na Maendeleo, Chadema, Vice Chairman for mainland Tanzania, Tundu Lissu, has declared interest of vying for the post of National Chairman of the party. Lissu declared his interest during a meeting with journalists in Dar es Salaam, saying that he has been forced to vie for the post after members of his party requested him to do so. He says lack of leadership term limits hinders opportunities for new leaders to serve in Chadema. Chairman of the Presidential Commission on Tax Reforms, Ambassador Ombeni Sufue, has urged citizens and different stakeholders to present their challenges and suggestions that will help to increase government's revenue in a friendly and a fair manner. Ambassador Sufue made the remarks in Dar es Salaam while officiating a meeting with community of Kariakoo entrepreneurs.
Pendekezo ya haki si maelewano ya kitaifa.
Our proposal should reflect a national consensus, ensuring we all understanding the challenges and importance of paying taxes. Taxes are essential for running the government and providing services, but we must also addressing the existing challenges.
Lakini tunatambua changamoto zilizopo.
He says the commission plans to meet as many people as possible so that they can find lasting solutions on challenges related to tax systems. President Samia Suluhu Hassan formed the commission in October this year, tasking it to review tax systems and come up with recommendations that will improve the sector of tax. Kisutu Magistrates Court has adjourned the case facing the owners of the collapsed building in Kariakoo, Dar es Salaam until January 13th, 2025. The case has been adjourned after the government advocate, Roida Mwakamele, told the court that the investigation of the matter is not yet completed and requested the court to set another date for mention. The defendants, Leondela Mdete, Zainabu Islam, and Ashur Awadh Ashur, are facing charges of murder. It is alleged that the defendants are accused of failing to fulfill their duties properly and causing the death of 31 people after the building in Mchikichi and Congo Streets in Dar es Salaam collapsed last month. However, some of these traders are out on bail, while others lack the criteria to have bail, so they continue to be remanded. The Deputy Minister of Community Development, Gender, Women and Special Groups, Mwanaidi Ali Hamis, says women have a great contribution in bringing about reforms in the country. Speaking at the launch of a documentary in Dar es Salaam that showcases efforts made by women entrepreneurs, the Deputy Minister says the government supports women by providing economic opportunities to women entrepreneurs. Peter Mganga reports.
It is a launch of documentary that focuses on women entrepreneurs, showing efforts made by women in bringing economic development in the society. Speaking during the event held in Dar es Salaam, the Deputy Minister of Community Development, Gender, Women and Special Groups, Mwanaidi Ali Hamis, praised the contribution of women while expressing the government's commitment towards sustainability of empowering women in economics.
Through this documentary, we get the opportunity to show the world that women can be involved in wealth production activities and promote the economy of individuals and the nation as a whole. Women need to be given a chance and supported through the necessary resources so that they can perform their duties fully.
On the other hand, the European Union Ambassador to Tanzania, Christine Crow, urges women entrepreneurs to explore all opportunities available in the society, while Joseph Munirakiza, who is the Funguo Program Manager, explains how Funguo platform plays a crucial role in enhancing sustainability of women in economic growth.
We celebrate all the women who have become successful entrepreneurs. They can inspire, and you inspire. Please be very much aware of that for all the young generations that are following you, but also for the people who might be your generation or who might want to achieve the same thing. You are role models. We want to have a society where women can get employment in line with their competences without being questioned about their personal situation. We also want a society where women are paid equally for the same work, and where women are respected, that they can take their own decisions and make their own choices without being harassed.
Today was special for the screening of a documentary which is called Beyond the Hurdles. It basically focuses on sharing stories of female entrepreneurs, startup founders who have gone against all odds to start and grow their businesses. So what's so special about this is because if you listen to their stories, all of them started with a why they started their businesses, what they went through to grow them, the kind of unique challenges and opportunities they faced. But they also share the message to encourage other women to be able to start the business, young girls who want to look up to them. So it was really a message to the broader ecosystem to continue investing in women-led businesses.
Furthermore, some of the women entrepreneurs says they are committed to support the nation through their initiatives.
I am blessed to be one of the women who got to share her story, but I got to hear about other stories between women who are involved in circular economy, between women who are involved in just transforming the space of sexual health and reproductive rights, between women who are just transforming the agriculture value addition system in Tanzania. I think the time is exciting in terms of products and businesses that are out there. So exciting times ahead.
After 5 years to come, things like this, or women that we have today, will be more of the women that we have now.
Females should be thinking on the opportunities which could rise. You know what? Sometimes the problem which we are facing, there can be solution and there can be business.
The documentary emphasizes on how these innovative women-led businesses and addresses challenges they face so as they can have sustainable development. Peter Mganga, TBC News, Dar es Salaam.
And now, before we wind up local news, let's have a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news as compiled and read to you by Nyambona Masamba.
International news starts in Asia. Syrian Prime Minister Mohammed al-Bashir says one of his first goals is to bring home millions of Syrian refugees. His administration is also promising to get state institutions back up and running and provide basic services after more than 13 years of civil war. Bashir reaffirmed those guilty of war crimes will be held to account. He said the door remained open for all employees except for those whose hands are stained with blood from military institutions. He said who those are once employees took up arms and fought against the Syrian people, displacing them. These individuals will be referred to court for trial before being allowed to return to their roles and the institutions. The civil war displaced millions of people to the neighboring countries and further abroad. With the fall of the government, Bashar al-Assad Syrians around the world hoping to return home. To Korean Peninsula. On South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol has promised to fight to the end against impeachment. In a televised address, embattled leader provided the fullest account yet of shortly declaration of martial law last week, which threw the country into political turmoil. With demonstrators holding nightly protests calling for him to go and police tried to gain access to search his offices, President Yoon Suk-yeol is looking increasingly disregarded. But in the latest defense yet in his position martial law, he is denied charges of insurrection. He said he honestly pleads with you to come together to defend South Korea and our democracy, which has been defended with brotherly swept. When he first declared martial law last week, Yoon said he was acting in part against pro-North Korean faction. From Asia to North America, U.S. Secretary of State has touched down in Aqaba in Jordan to discuss development in Gaza, Lebanon, and Syria. The State Department says Anton Blinken will be reiterating Washington's call for a smooth transition in Syria following the fall of Bashar al-Assad regime. It will also discuss the U.S. what is calling the urgent need to conclude a ceasefire agreement in Gaza. U.S. National Security Advisor Jack Sullivan is scheduled to visit Israel, Qatar, Egypt in coming days. To Asia, in the Philippines, Vice President Sara Duterte has skipped a government inquiry and allegation she plotted to kill President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. She dismissed the plot as a political motivated. Duterte denies making threats, saying her comments were misinterpreted. And a propeller plane crashed in the Texas highway on Wednesday. The pilot was on board when the sport aircraft went down and split into two when overpassed in the city of Victoria. 4 people, including the pilot, were injured, and the cause of the crash is not clear.
That was international news. Sports news up next. And in sports, Magnet Sports Center head of the business department, Cornell Ernest, says the goal of the center is to continue preparing outstanding young talented players who will play for Tanzania national teams in the future. Cornell told TBC News in Dar es Salaam that hosting of AFCON Chan 2025 and AFCON 2027 in the country has been a motivation for them to continue emphasizing their local competitions.
As we are looking forward for the AFCON, I think it's a good opportunity as youth to come and generate energy for the upcoming AFCON 2027. Yeah, it's a good opportunity because we have every youth from age category from 4 years to 19 years old, and we are looking to go to 20. I think so it's a good platform for them to come and generate their energy and their skills.
Dar es Salaam Magnet Youth Tournament attracted players under 15 from Kenya, Zimbabwe, and the host, Tanzania. In other sports news, Goodwill manager Xiang Li says they plan to invest in the sports gear industry to support sports development in the country, as the government of Tanzania has created a friendly environment for local and foreign investors. Speaking in Dar es Salaam, Chinese investors believe that the production of sports gear in Tanzania will reduce prices and taxes, and therefore it will make sports reach the highest levels in the country.
Goodwill products will be better every year. We are changing every year. The quality is better every year. We come up with a new look.
In Tanzania, we have investments, the tiles manufacturing factories, also people box factories. We very appreciate the support from Tanzania government, societies, and business partners. In past 8 years, we have continuously to support the social welfare program.
And that was sports news, and that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. I am Faith Ngaga. Good night.